Welcome, everybody. It's good to see so many faces, both in the room and online. So, as we're going to hear a lot of tonight, the FCC, or this meeting, there's two different sub-meetings in this. One is a coalition meeting, where community councils get together and talk about topics relevant to community councils across the municipality. One is the non-profit meeting, or board meeting, which is the second half. Normally we do it the other way around. Normally we start with the non-profit meeting and then move on to the coalition second. But since we expect a robust conversation about bylaws later, we'll do coalition first tonight, starting in a minute, and then we'll move on to, hopefully around 7, we'll move on to the board meeting, so the non-profit meeting. So call the meeting to order at 6:05. And I would ask roll call.
Yes. Abby Luke, Lizzie Newell. Here. Airport Heights, Emily Weiser. So sorry if I butchered it. Thank you,
Nope, you got it. Thank you.
Dawn Kraft from Batcher.
Yeah, Dirk says-
Oh, do we have Dirk? Dirk, are
I'm
you
he-
here?
I am here, yes.
Thank you. Bob from Bay Shore Plat.
Present.
Thank you. Caitlin Jackson from Bear Valley.
I'm here.
Thank you. Debbie Ossender from Birchwood. Okay. Kevin Feynman from Campbell Park.
Here.
Daryl Parks from Chukia.
Here.
Welcome in person. Either Barbara or Sylvia from downtown. I did see her, but
Sylvia's here. Barbara is no longer the delegate for the FCC. Thank you.
thank you. Cliff Cook from Eagle River.
Here.
Thank you. Glenn from Eagle River Valley. I don't think we have. Okay. Is there anyone here from Eagle River Valley? Okay. Agglutna Valley does not have a listed delegate. Kelly from Fairview.
Here.
Thank you. Girdwood, Mike Edgington.
I'm going to sit as the officer, not as a delegate for the first part of the meeting.
Thank you. Glenn Alps. We should have Greg, maybe. Okay. Bob French from Government Hill.
Present.
Thank you. Bruce Bergeson from Hillside.
Present.
Thank you. Jason Norris from Huffman O'Malley.
Here.
Thank you. Chris Stower from Midtown.
Here.
Thank you. Sorry. Charlie Walsh from Mountain View.
Here.
Thank you. Jacob Powell from North Star.
Here.
Thank you. Welcome in person. Pamela Raygor from Northeast.
Present.
Gary Meters from Old Seward Ocean View.
Yes, here, and alternate Gloria Lyons is on also.
Okay, thank you. We can only have one voting member, so Gary, since you're here, you're the voting delegate, just for clarity.
Right.
But I'm glad Gloria's here. Thank you. John Riley from Rabbit Creek.
Present.
Thank you. Marilyn Pillifant from Rogers Park. Let's see her. Kathleen from Russian Jack. Here. Thank you. Carrie Reese from Sand Lake. Here. Thank you. Roger Shaw from Scenic Foothills.
Here.
Thank you. John Thurber from South Edition.
Here.
Thank you. Anyone from South Fork? We don't have a listed delegate.
Donald Handlin, South Fork Community Council.
Okay, so we don't have a communication from you guys about who your delegate is. So at this meeting, you won't be able to vote, but I would love to meet offline and figure that out.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sarah Prescott from Spenard here. Thank you. We have Zach joining us from Taku Campbell, correct?
Yes, Zach Cottrell.
Thank you. Anyone, is Todd Butler here from?
I'm also here from Taku Campbell, Sarah Alexander.
Okay, so who will be the voting delegate? I have Sarah listed as the primary. I just want to be clear.
Yes.
Okay, Sarah, thank you, Zach, for being here. So online and in person, sorry, Todd Butler, are you here from Tutor? Unlikely, but, Kathy Gleason from Tutor, thank you. Michael Packard from Turning an Arm,
Present.
thank you. And, Steve Callahan from University. And we just
Here.
no. Yes, and so, the members that gave here are our voting delegates, except in the case of Mike, who is a non-voting officer for the purposes of this meeting.
Yeah, clarification on that, sorry. Because Birdwood does have a voting delegate here, and that would be Bryce Holdings. He was appointed by our land use committee.
So our understanding, and I did email this to Jennifer, our understanding of the municipal code is that the Girdwood Board of Supervisors appoints the delegate. The last communication the Federation has.
That's incorrect, because the land use committee includes the voting of Crow Creek. Crow Creek is not allowed to vote at Girdwood Board of Supervisors. So the first land use committee is the only committee that can make the nomination for the delegate.
Well, I am not a lawyer, so I would hate to speak, I
can
think.
verify this, does Crow Creek have voting power at Girdwood Board of Supervisors?
The purpose of the Girdwood Board of Supervisors when it comes to land use issues.
Girdwood Board of Supervisors, Crow Creek.
Yeah, it's all relevant.
Power at Girdwood Board of Supervisors, they do not.
No, only the only people.
Crow Creekers can only vote at land use.
I'll wait until you finish and then you let me speak.
We don't want a clarification, I want an answer.
Right, so the Upper Crow Creek does not vote for supervisors and the Girdwood Board of Supervisors. That's not what the code says. That the Girdwood Board of Supervisors act as the ex officio community council for Girdwood. So Girdwood Board of Supervisors is considering at our next meeting on Monday, the land use action, which was the, okay, thank you.
To vote for Crow Creekers.
Well, we can take this offline, thank you. So. Next we have consent agenda. Ask for a motion to approve the agenda
Through the
tonight.
chair, Zach Gottschall, delegate from
approve
Taco
tonight's
Campbell
minutes.
Community Council, I wish to make the following amendments to the agenda. First, add a 10-minute discussion specifically.
Point of order, I'll move to approve the agenda and then we can entertain it.
Thank you. Can I get a second to approve?
That's point of order. This was before your motion.
Federation of-
No, this point of order is before that motion.
I move to.
Yeah, you can.
Is a non-delegate able to bring it forward?
I am a delegate.
No, it's the, Zach's the delegate.
No,
Sarah's the delegate.
Sorry.
So move the motion and then you take amendments.
It's
I've
turned
been
into
sure.
a clusterfuck already. It hasn't even fucking started.
Tend to amend the agenda. So let's get the motion to move the agenda first and then we'll hear the
I
amendment.
move to approve the agenda.
Right. Can I have a second, please, to, then we'll go to amendments.
Second.
Thank you. Second. I didn't hear who was that? Steve. Thank you. Steve. Right. Now, do we have amendments to the agenda?
Yes, 2 amendments to the agenda from Taco Campbell Community Council. The first, add a 10-minute section allowing for a discussion for verification of Girdwood representation. Second, limit the board meeting discussion regarding bylaw committee discussions to no greater than 10 minutes due to the fact that the proposed bylaws are inconsistent with Acres Municipal Code 2.40.020.
Right. So, can I get a second for that amendment? Second. Thank you. So we're approving the agenda for the coalition meeting. So are you saying you want to discuss bylaws in the coalition meeting?
Your
As opposed to the
agenda-
Bylaw meeting?
Through the chair, the agenda is a part 1 and a part 2. It is
Yep.
not a separate agenda, so I'm amending.
So
the
you're
agenda
amending
as
part
an
2.
entirety.
Okay. So we'll amend part 2. And then we'll have the discussion. Because the voting thing is relevant to the second part, we'll have the discussion about GBLS under, I think, part 2, item 2. Under the procedure, of the full procedure.
We haven't voted on that.
No, we haven't. I'm just saying, I think that structurally, that's what we should do in terms of the actual meeting, because it's not part of the coalition. Any further discussion on the amendment?
Chair, I'd like to separate those two amendments out of the separate votes.
Okay, that's fine. So that's I think a motion to, what they call it, bifurcate. Can we have a second for that? Thank you. Thank you, Roger. Right, so first part, discussion on GBOS representative. Any discussion on this?
Point of information.
Yeah, sure.
Where is it going? Because it's going in the coalition, but before the.
It should go into coalition before, after the meeting opening, before the, sorry, the board meeting. Before discussion topics, so 1.5, between 1 and 2.
Okay.
That
Thank you.
could be the first item. Okay, any further discussion? I'm seeing Jen online. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mike. I want to kind of acknowledge that this is a tough thing and we're sorry for all concerned. I'm personally sorry for all concerned, and I want to say, as a co-chair of the Girdwood Board of Supervisors, I'm not a delegate of any kind here, but I'm simply co-chair of the Girdwood Board of Supervisors, that Mike and I have had a long conversation about this and are trying to figure out a good way forward that doesn't involve this group. I will say that, you know, he's bowed out at this time, and so that leaves the question of who, if anyone, votes later on down the line, and that is something that I can't answer, but I can simply state what I already stated in my letter to this organization. We do not have record of any elections in the last 4 to 5 years of, let me state 4 years. We've looked back to 2021. We have no record of elections for a delegate to the FCC. Thank you.
Just Jennifer, just to finish off your point, can you confirm there's no procedure for electing a delegate under our current, under GBOS or LUC rules?
Right there. Let me clarify a few other things. Thank you for that opportunity, Mike. We do not have anything in our codes read through both our land use committee codes and also our GBOS rules and procedures. There is no automatic election. It is not the situation where a chair automatically becomes FCC representative. We have no mention of FCC in either of those rules and procedures. Lastly, I would like to say, I do know that there is some confusion around this issue of Girdwood being, the Girdwood Board of Supervisors being declared the, quote, ex officio community council. That is not the same thing as actually being a community council. The land use committee functions much more closely to a community council and represents a larger selection of people. I understand that this is confusing. I hate to get you all in the middle of this, but hopefully that at least helps a little bit. Thank you.
We're straight into discussing the topic itself rather than whether it's amended and added to the agenda. So sorry about that. I also engaged in the conversation. So the topic in front of us is whether we have it, whether we amend it and add it to the agenda. Any other discussion on that?
Sorry, I thought we were still on bifurcating.
Sorry, you're right. We're still on the bifurcation. I took that as being a say. Let's go back one step. On the bifurcation question, does anyone object to bifurcating the topic onto 2? I'm not seeing any objection. Right now, we'll return to the first part. Is there a question online?
Yeah.
Okay, Marilyn, please go ahead.
Recognizing her as delegate for Rogers Park.
You're on mute, Marilyn.
Hi, I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone for being late to the party. Could you please, in a quick synopsis, tell me what we're talking about?
I will try.
Otherwise, I will abstain from voting. Bifurcation.
We have a motion in front of us to approve tonight's agenda. That was amended to add 2 items into part 2. There was a call to bifurcate, to split those 2 items into 2 different votes. That is what we are discussing. I just asked if anyone objects to that. And I think you're speaking now just to get clarification.
So the bifurcation is separating the agenda from the minutes?
No, it's to separate, there are two additional items to go on the agenda, or one additional item to go on the agenda in part two. And one change to the duration of an item of part two. They're the two things that are being discussed. Does anyone have an objection to vote on those separately?
Thank you.
Right, I'm not seeing any objection, they're now bifurcated. No other comments online?
No.
Right. So the first part, Jennifer and I strayed into discussion, but the question in front of us is whether to add an item into part two to discuss the status of the GBOS delegate or Goodwood delegate. Does anyone have any comments on this? If not, we will move to a vote.
So just to put on the record, Zach Oshaw from Taco Campbell Community Council, Jen sent the email. Jen Weingard, who I know she just.
Is this about putting on the agenda or is this about the topic itself?
The topic itself.
Okay, in that case, we move until later. So it's already on the agenda, and I think we know why it's on the agenda. Any other discussion on before we vote to whether to add it to the agenda or not? I'm not seeing any more comments, so can you go ahead and do a roll call vote, please?
Oh, yeah. Abbott Loop,
Yes, add it to the agenda.
okay, sorry. For roll call. Emily Weiser,
I'd like to abstain, please.
okay. All right, Dirk,
Yes.
Bob Lowell.
Yeah.
Caitlin Jackson. Caitlin Jackson. Okay, I'll have a support that is abstained. Kevin Feynman,
Yes.
Carol Parks. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. Sylvia.
Oh my goodness. I'm really trying to understand all of this. And I know it's been explained, but can you identify exactly what we are voting on?
Sure, we're voting on whether to add an item to the agenda under part two, between item one and item two in part two.
Okay, I got it now. Okay, I'm following now. Yes, I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Flint Cook.
Yes.
Thank you. Did Glenn join us? Kelly? Kelly Inbog from
Sorry, I
Fairview?
thought you said Hallie. Sorry, yes.
I will be clearer. Mike Edging, oh, you're not voting for this section. Bob French,
Yes.
Bruce Ferguson,
Yes.
Jason Norris. Chris Stoner, sorry.
You know what? I have no idea what you're doing. I thought you were going to have text available for me today, and it's not here. So I am sitting here to fulfill my obligation, but I'm contacting Mr. Hess so that this is fixed in the future for other people that have hearing difficulties. I have no idea what you're doing.
Do you want to restate the question or?
Would you like me to restate the question we're voting on?
I cannot understand you. So please move forward. This is embarrassing to me.
Understood.
Charlie?
Abstain.
Thank you. Jacob?
Yes.
Pamela?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
John Riley?
Aye.
Marilyn Pillafont?
What exactly are we voting on to add?
Yeah, this is a vote of whether to add an item under part two after item one to discuss Girdwood delegate, the representation of Girdwood within today's meeting.
Thank you. I vote aye, yes.
Thank you. Kathleen?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Roger Shaw?
Yes.
John Thurber?
Yes.
Sarah Prescott?
Yes.
Sarah Alexander?
Yes.
Kathy Gleason?
Yes.
Michael Packard,
Yes.
and Steve Callahan.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's all yeses, except we have three abstains.
Okay, excellent. So we'll add that into the agenda.
Yeah, this Girdwood rep also says yes, please. That's it.
I think that is what's under question.
Yeah, well, when we get to that point, we can have that.
We have a question from Pamela.
And also another.
Pamela.
Thank you very much. I would just like to make a point of inquiry. Are we able to call in as you are in other Zooms in order to participate if there's an issue with sound on Zoom?
Yeah. Yes. I can
So
drop.
perhaps you could give that number out. And I say this as somebody with hearing problems who has hearing aids in. And I know that I have to adjust with my hearing. Oh, I'm sorry, my hearing aids and the Zoom in order to do it, but I've been able to utilize a phone number as well.
Okay, let me see
Thank
if I
you.
can get that in the chat. I'm sorry, that's
Okay,
just.
right. Second part is to change the agenda part to item 3 to set an estimated time of 10 minutes. I think the request was to limit it to 10 minutes, and I'm sure you can make that move. You can make the call, calling the question when we get to that item. But for our purposes, I think you would want do you want to just wait until then, or do you want to change this to an estimated 10 minutes?
My request of my motion, it was properly moved and seconded, was to limit it to 10 minutes.
Right, I don't think you can do that as an agenda change to limit the discussion. You can when you get to the item. And you can call the question after 10 minutes if you wish.
You're more than welcome to point out Robert's rules where I'm in.
I don't have it in front of me. Can you find
We've
it?
got a motion properly on the table that's properly moved and seconded. We must move forward.
Okay, so the motion is to limit discussion to 10 minutes. So that would be a preemptive call of the question, I believe. There isn't a mechanism in here that says we're limiting the discussion time. We have an estimate of 40 minutes. If you want to change the estimate to 10, that seems fine. If you want to actually stop discussion during the item, then call the question. Okay, I'm going to take it as a suggestion to change as a recommendation to change the estimated time to 10 minutes. Any discussion on this? I don't see any. I'll try assent. Does anyone object to changing the estimated time to 10 minutes on item part 2, item 3?
I do.
Okay, let's go to a roll call vote.
Okay, Lizzie,
Yes.
Emily,
Yes.
Dirk,
No.
Bob,
No.
Caitlin,
No.
Kevin,
No.
Daryl,
Yes.
Sylvia.
Yes.
Cliff,
No.
Kelly,
No.
Bob,
No.
Bruce, Ferguson,
No.
Jason,
No.
Chris, oh, sorry, Charlie,
No.
Jacob,
Abstain.
Pamela,
No.
Gary,
No.
John.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, John Riley, my fault.
Yes.
Thank you. Marilyn,
No.
Kathleen,
No.
Carrie.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Thank you. Roger,
No.
John Thurber,
No.
Sarah Prescott,
No.
Sarah Alexander.
Abstain.
Kathy Gleason.
No.
Michael Packard.
No.
Steve Callahan.
No.
I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 20 no's, so the no's have it.
Okay, those have it, so no change to the agenda there. Next item is approval of minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me, I wanted to amend the agenda as well.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we have
to approve the
to
agenda.
approve the agenda, yes. I'm just looking at time.
FYI, at the end of last month, September 17th, 2025 delegate meeting, I suggested, that we bring it up at the October meeting about community councils and discussion about community councils collectively, working together to request designated parkland as dedicated. I don't think we're gonna have time for a discussion. There's no timeline on this. So if I could please, move that this agenda item be on our November FCC delegate meeting for discussion.
I would second that motion.
Thank you. Again, I'll ask for consent. Anyone have an objection to that? I'm not seeing anyone, so consider that done.
Okay, thank you.
So now we have approval of the agenda. Again, I will ask for consent, agenda as amended. Any objection to approving the agenda as amended?
I have one perhaps clarification, the part
Okay.
1 and the part 2.
Yeah.
The last items in them seem to be reversed. Part
Yes,
1.
they are.
So is that going to be changed? Or
We're doing it the opposite order to normal, so we had more time for the bylaw discussion, but yes, thank you. We'll treat that as a scrivener's error. Okay, so I'll ask one more time, but for assent, any objection to accepting the agenda? Not seeing any. Agendas accepted. Since we had a motion for approving the agenda, I'll also entertain a motion to approve minutes from previous meeting. Would someone like to move that we approve the minutes from previous meeting? Thank you, Darryl, and I heard a second from that side as well. Jason, thank you, Jason. Okay, any objection to approving the minutes? Okay, great. Move on to item 3, education topics. I'm going to technically start with Girdwood. I'm going to skip Girdwood because I'm not acting as delegate tonight. So
We can put them in the next.
Yeah.
It's-
So if you want to take over from there, Glenn Ups.
We don't have Glen Alps tonight, so Government Hill, any updates?
no current updates?
Thank you. Hillside, any updates?
No current updates.
Yeah. Huffman O'Malley.
The interest of time tonight, we'll let it go.
Midtown? Oh, sorry. Mountain View.
No, nothing right now. We're tied up with a bunch of other things going on here, so.
North Star. Like a minute if you have anything you want to speak on about what's going on in your community council.
Yeah, just wanted to quickly speak to the fact that we have had relatively low attendance lately, but was really excited to see a lot of folks out at the Planning and Zoning Commission from North Star. And a lot of folks then followed up at the North Star meeting, and we're hoping to get a committee together to work on fireweed. And just yeah, would love if anybody wants to hit up our board with suggestions on how to get folks engaged and keep folks engaged. We're really trying to grow our membership, so would appreciate that. That's all. Thank you.
You and I should. North Star.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, sorry. Northeast.
Yes, thank you. So the NECC's October report to the Coalition of Community Councils is as followed. The council now has 3 ad hoc committees in response to our community's concerns. We have added the arts and placemaking to build community pride and recognition. This summer, we received the Mayor's Beyond the Beige Award of $12,000 for our Alaska Animal Bike Rack initiative. We are currently running a fundraising campaign to cover the remaining $1,000 needed for that initiative. This committee was stood up to address the deterioration, aging of the area and the economic decline, and to build community pride and ownership. The Homelessness Committee is to research and collaborate with others and report to the community. The focus is on the overall health and safety issues that are associated with the ongoing hopelessness issue. Sorry, I keep coughing. Planning and Zoning Committee to navigate the intertwining application of so many vital elements that affect our Northeast Community Council members and the entire Anchorage citizenry. This committee's focus is on the continuous changes to public and private property uses and associated issues. All committees from the NECC actively work to communicate throughout the Northeast Council area and will continue to collaborate with local government organizations and coalition of community council members. The council's next general meeting is to be held tomorrow night at the Creekside Park Elementary School. Thank you.
Thank you. Old Stewart Ocean View.
No updates, thank you.
Thank you. And Portage is not present, so that concludes our updates.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item number 4, education topic. We have, I think, Graham from the Mayor's office.
Yes.
Graham, do you want to come up to near a microphone?
We only have one tonight, so apologies. But
Oh, is it? Where is it?
technically it's
Sorry.
here, but I can give this to you. See how close in I get it.
Over, John.
Everybody's real friendly.
Thanks, Don. Hi, everyone. I'm Graham Downey. I'm the mayor's deputy chief of staff. Glad to be here with you. I think I can replace Marie on the agenda. I'll
We will.
try to join you
Yeah.
guys regularly. This is a big crowd. It seems like you guys got a lot to talk about, so I'll let you get to it. But if anyone had maybe, if it's appropriate, Chair, to have, there's 2 or 3 questions if folks have for us about anything that we've got going on, rather than me doing a report out, happy to take some questions.
Okay, any questions for them?
So it sounds like the TISDale proposal is kind of on hold, so what's going on next with that?
What's happening, we don't, so I sent an email to many of the
Yeah.
community council presidents that the TSDO proposal that we talked about at a meeting, I've talked with many of your councils about, is on hold currently. We haven't defined the length of that because we want to make sure we take our time to have collaborative conversations with the community. Not just about the TSDO proposal, but in general about the mayor's 10,000 homes in 10 years plan and the need for more housing, and talk about how we can get there together, bringing everyone together to sort of identify shared solutions to Anchorage's housing problems. So we haven't put a deadline on how long that process will
Okay,
take.
so like, when's the next meeting on that?
Well, the next step, because the Planning and Zoning Commission approved the item at their last meeting, the next step will be for it to go onto an assembly agenda for introduction. And I imagine the assembly will also want to do a process involving, I would imagine they'll want to have more than one public hearing, work sessions, et cetera, once we get to that point.
Can you clarify, was it version 6 that P and Z passed?
Yes,
Was it amended at all?
no.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any online? Okay, I'll just ask a quick one then. I know previously there was a mechanism put in place for community councils to basically ask for a meeting with the mayor. You know, is that being used?
Or the mayor's office was attending twice,
Well, that's right. And
twice a year.
That's right. Yeah, we had a
2 parts to
schedule laid out. Yeah, I think we need to look back at that schedule to make sure that's happening.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I would say if councils have not been visited recently, if you feel like you've been overlooked, please let me know. Reach out to the mayor's office. My email is graham.downey@anchorageak.gov.
I will put it in the recap.
Yeah.
email.
Yeah, but
We
please
can
let
put
me
it in
know.
the chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
any other questions? Sarah?
Yeah.
How's the relationship with the Muni and the Department of Transportation going?
I mean, it's, you know, as many of you know, the Muni and the Department of Transportation share responsibility for our roads, or rather don't share. Some of our roads in the Muni are DOT roads, like Tudor and Muldoon and Northern Lights, or except for the western portion of Northern Lights. The eastern portion is the Muni's. in any case, we had a meeting actually with the commissioner yesterday about them transferring ownership of Fifth and Sixth Avenue to the Muni. The roadblock there is actually the federal government. It's a national highway system road, so we need to have it delisted as a national highway before the state can transfer it to the Muni. But it's a really nice place where the governor and the commissioner and the mayor are all on the same page about making downtown safer, more vibrant for local businesses, and addressing a really poor need in the municipality. So that's a really positive source of collaboration. In general, trying to have open lines of communication with DOT, and the commissioner in general has been very receptive when we've provided feedback. Yeah, I think we had a meeting also to collaborate for winter maintenance. I think definitely something we ask them often is, do you have the resources you need in order to be able to plow your roads effectively? They say yes. I think we always will welcome your feedback in the winter if that does not end up being the case. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Graham. That would be good.
For the sake of time, I think we'll move on to the assembly next.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks.
we can hear.
Yeah, assembly member, Rawley, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And I have a lot of information, but I'll be quick because I know you have a lot going on. And I'll put a few things in the chat when I'm done talking. And sorry, I can't be there in person tonight. First, I want to say we are welcoming, the community of Anchorage is welcoming the Alaska Federation of Natives Convention, AFN Convention downtown. So if you see a lot of folks out from Thursday through Saturday, that's going on at the Denina Center. I encourage you to go. Obviously, it's open to the public. There's a lot of events, dance performances. You'll see a lot of folks there. And of course, there's a market. So I don't have pierced ears, but those with that love earrings, that's a great place to get them. So I'll just remind folks about that. And also on a more serious note, of course, we all know the news that's happened in Western Alaska over the weekend, where a lot of communities were flooded, and there's phrases like on the level of Hurricane Katrina. So we know this is serious. You've probably seen the photos coming out. So I will also note that impacts us because, and you'll see this in the news if you haven't already, it came out this afternoon. We know there's going to be a number of folks evacuated. Some are going to Bethel to be sheltered there. We're talking multiple communities worth of people who are evacuated because the buildings there are simply not safe. You probably saw houses floating away. You might have seen schools. Really the only community buildings in some of these places are the school or the community center. Those buildings are not habitable. And so anyway, I'll put an article in the chat. It's a very sobering story, and there are folks who do not want to leave their community and are required to right now. And so that evacuation is happening. We know for sure there will be some folks sheltered at the UAA Alaska Airlines Center, and there's kind of more. This is a developing story, so I just wanted to let you know because you'll see more about that soon. So obviously it's a state issue, but as the largest community in the state, we are going to be seeing some folks here for some period of time. So anyway, more on that soon, but just to let you know, that's happening as of right now. In terms of local issues, we are in the middle of our annual budget process. I think I mentioned that last week. So I'll just say some dates quickly. We had our first work session on Friday on the budget, getting a briefing from departments, kind of what the high level look is, capital projects, all of those things. And we'll have the second half of that on Friday, the 24th. So next Friday, those are recorded. They are 5 hours. So I don't recommend necessarily sitting through all of that. But if you want to dive in, you can look for a portion of it or a specific department if you're interested. If you would like to participate, you can email the assembly. We certainly welcome comments. And then there's also 2 public hearings coming up on Tuesday, the 21st and Tuesday, the November 4th at our regular meetings. We will have those public hearings early in the agenda because they are important. We need to do them. And so show up about 6 or so if you would like to participate in that. And then we anticipate taking our usual vote on the budget on November 18th. One thing I will note for all of you, because you're very deeply involved in the CIP process and capital projects, the mayor has put forward what's called a skinny road bond this year. So you're probably used to seeing a bunch of specific projects named on the bond. As of right now, and that can certainly change, we anticipate that it will change. Right now, there are no named specific projects on that bond. There's only what's called our annual program. So things like traffic calming, speed bumps, and those do go to different places all over the community, but they're not the same as having, East 42nd or some other road project named in the bond. And so what I would encourage all councils to do is look back at your CIP priorities and contact your district assembly members. So for folks on the west side, me and Cameron, but everybody look at your projects because it will take some advocacy to put things on the bond. I think we expect to see some projects added to the bond. Certainly, I want to see that investment. We know that we have about $1 billion of deferred maintenance on our roads, just our local roads. But that is not a default, even if it was on the list last year, because we really need to think about what are we asking folks to pay for. And so I encourage that as an action item. So get with your district members and work on amendments. Bonds will not be finalized until January, so you have more time than the full budget vote. But I would really encourage the earlier the better to get those priorities in. So please take a look at that. I'll put a couple links in the chat to the Office of Management and Budget. That's where you can find the full budget books, including the CIB, that's B as in boy. That's the capital improvement budget. That's the 1-year list. So the 2026 proposed items. The 6-year list, the CIP, the program is also there, but I would really focus on what's on the list for 2026. And then there's also a page for on the assembly side, we have our focus on budget page, and there's a number of fiscal proposals out there, multiple taxes to consider to solve at least some of our issues. So proposals for a short-term rental tax, proposal for a bed tax increase, and a proposal for a 1% sales tax. So I'm not anticipating all of those go on the ballot. I don't know if any of them will go on the ballot, but they are out for consideration, especially after the big conversation this community had around Project Anchorage. So lastly, speaking of conversations in our budget, myself and member Baldwin Day from Midtown, so not a full assembly event, just us 2 members, are hosting a public conversation called Our Muni, Our Budget. It's on Tuesday, October 28th. So not an assembly meeting day, but if you want to keep your Tuesday evenings open, there's always stuff going on. That will be 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the BP Energy Center in Midtown. We'll provide some dinner food and we'll have childcare for those who need it. And so we're not going to be talking about next year's budget. What we're really going to do is step back and look at our current budget, what's in it, what's not in it, how it's changed over time. And we really mostly want to have a conversation. This will be an interactive meeting. So we'll have folks really grapple with some of the big questions and the choices that will be before voters in the near future. So again, we're not going through any specific tax proposals, anything like that, but we want you to have the information that you'll need when it comes time to make some big choices for our city. So the biggest question that we'll be asking is not so much what do you want, but what are we as a community willing to pay for? That's really the bottom line. And that is a question that's hard to answer without information and without discussion. So we're starting that conversation. We know it's been going on, but we're really trying to focus in on that big question because this isn't an assembly decision. It's not the mayor's decision. It is everyone's decision. Everyone who votes gets to decide on these things. And so again, we're hoping to set up kind of understanding what information you want, what questions you have, and how we as a community move forward together. So I'll put the RSVP link in the chat. And with that, I'll take any other questions.
Can you bring the microphone back over?
Yeah, actually, do you want to come around here, Graham?
Happy to. I was just,
Hold on, I got it.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Please let me.
We have an extra statement. I always appreciate Anna talking about all the things I meant to say, or would have said if I, but on the disaster response and the just tragedy that's happening in Western Alaska, in addition to housing on UAA's campus, we're also anticipating tomorrow that folks will be emergency sheltered at the Egan Center downtown. I know that's not generally, this is a bad reason. This is a really sad reason for folks to be coming to Anchorage. But we want to do everything we can as a community to be Alaskan together, to stand with our neighbors in Western Alaska, to welcome people downtown to the Egan Center in their time of need. So just wanted to provide that's an update as of just a few hours ago. We'll keep you all informed as that develops.
Thank you. Questions for somebody?
I just have a comment. I just wanted to say thanks to Assemblymember Brawley. After the last meeting, I asked you about 4 or 5 questions, and I just appreciate all the answers you sent to me, and just say thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Kathy, and then.
Yes, either Graham and or Anna, with these shelters being put in place, is there anything that the public is being asked to donate or provide or at this point, or is it premature for that?
I can address that. Essentially, to my knowledge, the Muni is not, we're not the right ones to coordinate that kind of response. But I would encourage looking at, I know there was some articles, and I know the Alaska Community Foundation, they stood up a disaster response fund. They did that back in 2022 as well. And I know there's a bunch of other Red Cross, there's other organizations. So I think it was Alaska Public Media had a list of resources, so I can share that. So I would look to that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's double. The Red Cross is one of the lead agencies on this, so
Thank you.
they should be a good resource.
Sorry, question for Bob and then.
Yes, and the date for our budget meeting is when again?
It's Tuesday, October 28th. And I also shared information with FCC staff, so I know they're going to get that out to everybody as well.
Gonna go on the weekly newsletter on Monday.
Thank you.
Unrelated to the budget, can you expand on the community council survey?
Yeah, so I was referring to the annual surveys that the CIP or the Capital Improvement Program surveys that go out to community councils and you all rank projects. So that was done from about March to, I think, June is when it closed this year. And that is what directly feeds into that, and many other sources of information feed into what become priority projects that end up on the bond.
Where could I learn more about that process?
Well, I would talk to, I guess, I don't know if the FCC has information about that, but it's something that opens up in the spring. So I could send some general information. And there's also a CIP coordinator at the city, Chelsea Ward Waller. So she is also a great point of contact, not just on specific projects, but on the process.
And we did a local lens earlier this year for the purpose of educating. So that'd be I can send that to you. It's a great place to start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, sure. Quick, Steve, and then we'll move on to the next.
This is Steve Callahan, so I take it, 42nd Avenue Phase 2 is not gonna happen next year.
So I don't have that information, and I did, that was the first project that came to mind, Steve, so sorry about that. I would say that those decisions haven't been made yet. And so if it was in the list and it's been a priority, then I would reach out to members, because like I said, we're going to amend that bond list, I would anticipate. So if it's a priority, definitely work with your members.
Steve, do you have the PM&E has a website?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, totally. And I guess I would just recommend that folks, if you have questions about an active road project, the CIB generally funds things like.
Well, I want Phase 2. Finishing doing Phase 1 now. Just been waiting.
Let's take this offline, and I know we're really close to time. We'll move on to the third presentation from Carl Jacobs School Board. Carl, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Council. Carl Jacobs here with the ESD School Board. Just a couple quick updates and I'll get out of your way. To follow up on Vice Chair Brawley's comments, the school district is standing by. My understanding is we're involved in supporting efforts for individuals who are relocating from Western Alaska, specifically those with children. And I anticipate that we'll be servicing a number of those families in the very near future. Pivoting to the State Board of Education regulation, for those who didn't closely follow, there was a significant threat to how our local community chooses to support public education, and the regulation that was proposed to have been passed by the department and the State Board on the 9th was kicked back to the department for a date to be determined later, and subsequent revisions and another community engagement process. I think that's good news, and I'm grateful for everyone who connected with the department as well as with the district to learn more information and to use your voice to ensure that local control continues to be the rule of procedure in terms of how we support public education here in Anchorage. With that said, I want to talk about right sizing really quickly. The board was briefed last week regarding the newest proposal for right sizing, which has 3 components this year. I'll just cover them very quickly. The first is the ability for our district to co-locate childcare facilities in excess capacity within elementary schools, which something I've been passionate about and working on behind the scenes now for more than a year. I'm excited to say that we'll have a proposal, this listing specific elementary schools that will be able to house a childcare facility and expand programmatic access in town and potentially subsidize those costs for ASD staff, which is great as a retention measure, and then expand capacity for childcare in our city. The second element of our right sizing plan this year is boundary adjustments. The ROMIG boundaries and west boundaries will be adjusted to shift students to Wendler and Hanshu Middle School, as well as Betty Davis East Anchorage High School and Service High School, respectively. And then the third element of the right sizing plan this year is two closures, which would make buildings available for charter programs that exist within ASD right now. The first would be Fire Lake Elementary. The second would be Lake Otis. Those buildings would almost certainly be proposed to be occupied by two different charter programs, Eagle Academy out in Eagle River, and then Rilke Schul, I believe, will be proposed for Lake Otis Elementary School as part of the right sizing plan there. So we wouldn't be having any additional new vacant buildings. These would be repurposing buildings, and then those students would attend other nearby elementary schools. With that said, there are town hall opportunities to learn more and participate in the right sizing conversation. You can learn more and view the PowerPoint that the board was given at asdk12.org/right sizing. The dates for the town halls are as follows. There will be a conversation at Wendler and Hanshu Middle School on October 28th, a conversation at East High School, Betty Davis East Anchorage High School on October 29th, Chugach High School on October 30th, and then November 1st at the ASD Education Center on Northern Lights. And again, that website to learn more is asdk12.org/right sizing. And then the last thing I wanted to shout out really quickly is a event that's being partnered by with community partners, specifically geared towards after school celebration. That is at Muldoon Elementary, Thursday, October 16th from 6 to 7:30. And again, the goal is to raise awareness and build bridges and build connections regarding after school opportunities and the need for that valuable programming. With that said, I'll step aside if there's no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Carl. I think there is a question from Pamela.
Yes, I
Please
have
go
a
ahead.
couple. Thank you, Carl. Carl, the first one I have is just how do we go about, or did the school board assign their members to councils to see? I've sent a couple of emails. We've been unable to get somebody to our council. Just wanted to let you know that. The second thing is, did I hear you say in the right sizing that they're going to move the German immersion again? Because they just moved to Abbott, so they're going to be moved again?
Sure. Yeah. So Pamela, if you would list your council for me, I'd be happy to make sure someone attends, and I'll find out who that member is. And then regarding the second half of your question, you are correct. Rilke Schul would be pending board approval, would likely be relocated to Lake Otis Elementary. Its current location in Abbott Loop Elementary was always intended to be temporary. That building needs more than $50 million worth of work, and the school district has $1 billion in deferred maintenance. And up until very recently, the state wasn't paying their share of capital bonds that are passed. And so I anticipate that there will be significant discussion regarding giving back Abbott Loop Elementary to the municipality, given that we need less elementary school buildings than we than we have in our possession right now that we're managing on behalf of the city.
Okay, then I have one last question, and it's Northeast Community Council. Thank you. And the last question is, I have heard on the street, so I never take that seriously, but I do have the question of maintenance fees. Are they being charged to the alternate programs and to the charters?
Yep, charter programs as part of their operating budget that gets approved annually by the district have to build in maintenance costs.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Carl, the FCC has not received that list of the ASD board members and which community councils they go to. So if we could get that so we can share it on our website, that would be great.
As a
Sure, yeah,
fo-
I'm
As a
happy
follow-up,
to.
I
Go ahead, sir.
asked the secretary at the school board and she sent it to me, but I've not been able to get a hold of the person. So it might be an old one, Carl, just to let you know.
Okay, yeah, I just was looking at the document earlier today, because I had a community member ask me, so I know it exists on the ASD website and it's current there, but I will make sure the FCC gets a copy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Jacobs. Any other questions, school board? Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. We're actually not far behind in terms of time. So, item number 5, 2026 Leadership and Officers Summit.
Oh, yeah, planning department is not
Yeah,
here.
planning department isn't here, sorry. Education topic number 5.
Yes, let me just share screen. Save the date. Our annual summit is now annual. Last year was our first time doing it. Now it's become annual in our second year. I did not put on here for some reason. It's a free event. It is part of our support training grant that we get from the assembly. And I just want to put it out there for everybody. Please save the date, Saturday, January 31st at the Nave. We will be hosting our second summit. That will include training opportunities for council officers and leadership. All council officers and leaders are welcome to attend. We will be sending out tickets, information a little bit later, but I just wanted to get this on everybody's calendar. Spread the word to all of your officers. Please tell your executive boards. We would love to see more people. It got great reviews earlier this year, so we're just hoping that we see the same amount of people come. If you want to volunteer, reach out and let us know because we would love some volunteers.
Do you want to just mention some of maybe 1 or 2 of the highlights, any returning speakers?
Oh, yeah. Terry is coming back to talk about ethics. That was a really big hit if you were here at the earlier one. Let's see, who else? I don't have anybody else confirmed, but we do have some great topics. I'm hoping when I announce the tickets, I'll have more of the speakers confirmed and can publicize that.
Do you want, I mean, the tickets, they are free.
They're free. It's a sign up. It's a sign up ticket, not like paying for a ticket.
It's gonna be in person.
In person only.
Okay, any questions on Leadership Summit? Okay, let's move on to item number 6, update on better public meetings.
Just a quick update. The assembly had multiple versions of the Better Public Meeting resolution. Ultimately, last Tuesday, all of the resolutions were tabled. We hope to come back with a better update at the next meeting for the delegates.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on better public meetings? If not, then I think we're actually nominally 2 minutes ahead. I'm going to skip skip comment period and we'll move to the second agenda. Sorry.
People in the room, I want to be.
Well, if it's on the bylaws, that'll be in the next section. Or is it on the coalition? Absolutely. I think that's fine, isn't it? We've got a minute or 2.
As a question.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 minutes, so I'll start with Pamela, then I'll move to you, Amanda.
So I have a request for information and it doesn't have to be given to now. I'm just asking if we could get a attendance list for those for 2025 to the coalition. And then for 2025, a list of officers that have come and gone in leadership for this group as well. Appreciate it. I'd like to have that by November if possible.
I don't have a problem sharing that information. I think we don't normally share attendance sheets, but we don't have a policy on it. So I think I would actually want to take that to the body and have a vote about whether I can share. I would hate to share something and have that not be the request. So
that will be a discussion next month. Or today.
What I'm requesting is a list of those who have attended. And I think that should be public because it should be in our minutes. I'm just asking if it's been acquired. Otherwise, I'd go back and and work on each one of
Yeah,
those.
it's in the minutes. It's in the minutes, right? Okay, I'm just sorry. I don't want to share something that we're not
Nope.
supposed to.
Nope, got it.
So we'll pull it from the minutes and provide it for you before the November meeting.
Yes.
Hopefully I can have it for the recap, but I have to wrangle.
Yes. And I'm just asking for it as a report to the entire body. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have one comment. I think someone from the audience wanted to say one thing.
The Alaska Native Heritage Center is also organizing support for the people of the flood. So that's another point of contact.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah,
We're just gonna repeat it.
I didn't catch all of it. Sorry, could you say it out loud? Okay.
Organizing relief efforts for the flood victims.
Okay, just to repeat that for those online, the Alaska Native Heritage Center is also organizing relief efforts for those affected by the floods in Western Alaska. Thank you. Right. So I saw one comment. We've already hit 7:05. Who wants to? Sorry?
I would like to read the public comment.
Make a comment on the coalition part. Yeah, sure.
Right. Hi, my name is Amanda Tuttle. I'm a Girdwood resident, long time. I've lived there for 20 years. I'm also a business owner. And I represent Old Girdwood in addition to Crow Creek. So just a couple things just to clarify. There's a lot of confusion about what Girdwood is. First of all, Girdwood is state. We are not municipal lands. We are actually state public lands that have either been selected or conveyed to the municipality of Anchorage under a land conveyance from the Department of Natural Resources in 1984. We are governed by the 1995 Girdwood Area Plan. It is a state issued a joint document done with the Department of Natural Resources. There's been a lot of confusion, and a few people have grotesquely overstated their knowledge and understanding of land use planning and how that all works within our community. I'm coming here today because I find it deeply disturbing. So our Girdwood Board of Supervisors, which is a state-appointed public advisory council, it has, everybody's an elected member, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, I'm told that elected members are not allowed to be a part of this board. So that in and of itself, and this board is formed through the English Comprehensive Plan. I believe it's a police B. Again, we are the Girdwood Area Plan. We are not the English Comprehensive Plan. We have no business being board with you guys. On top of that, I find it deeply disturbing that we have been informed that somebody has been acting on our behalf of the community for nearly 30 to 40 months. Never has this information ever once been conveyed to any of our Girdwood Board of Supervisors meetings, our land use meetings, our trails meetings, our agency meetings, which I have attended nearly every single meeting that you can shake a stick at in the last 3 years that concerns the Girdwood community, including public safety, cemetery. I'm there. I'm at the. This has never been brought to our attention. There is elected officials are not supposed to be on this board. Girdwood Board of Supervisors is not the place where a delegate would be chosen. It'd be chosen through the Land Use Committee. Girdwood being state public lands, what happens is that the Girdwood Board of Supervisors actually has no vote at the municipal land. So there's two communities at statehood when we were incorporated into the municipality. That was the city of Girdwood and Crow Creek. We've both been written out of our own land use policies, which is a whole nother issue. But the bigger problem is that the Crow Creekers are not even allowed to vote at the Girdwood Board of Supervisors. And then Girdwood Board of Supervisors doesn't even have a vote at the municipal level. Do you see where this is getting conflicting? So the Land Use Committee is the only committee board under Girdwood Board of Supervisors where Crow Creekers are able to speak and have a vote. So it's deeply concerning to the entire community of Girdwood that for 30 to 40 months, we have had somebody impersonating us and not relaying any of the information coming back from us.
Thank you. That's 3 minutes. We've already run out of time in the first part. We're moving on to the second. It sounded like that was. Oh, sorry. I thought Amanda Tuttle took your role.
No, it's okay.
You want to speak as well? Is this to the bylaw issue or is this to
This is to the first one. Thank you so much.
just the coalition topics? Okay.
My name is Amanda Thompson. Amanda's here. So I am a teacher at a couple of schools. It's been my pleasure to serve there. I am one of those people who have been able to be a part of the Girdwood community. I'm now in beautiful Tunigan. We have Kathy with all of her amazing experience there for our council chair. I'm still a mile away from the ocean, just like I was when I was living along Trinnigan Arm. So for me, being able to see both of these communities, right? To have being lived in Birdwood. My grandpa was one of the gold miners at Crow Creek, living in Birdwood, and then coming to Anchorage, so being this conduit back and forth. So I have seen this situation that's unfolding now is really, really concerning to me, having been a member of both of those communities. So as far as communication goes, I know as a teacher, I am a government employee. I have a duty to communicate to my parents. I can be held legally liable if I do not communicate some basic things back to my constituents, which are my students, which are my parents. I spend a lot of time making those phone calls, writing those newsletters, doing my minimum duty. I do not get paid a lot, but I do these because I know it's part of my job description. I'm very concerned that it seems to be that there is a representative for several years who never made any communications back to their group about what this hardworking coalition does. There's a story, and just to leave it, it's hard. I know this is really hard because it's come as a surprise to a lot of you guys. It came as a huge surprise to me. The only reason I found it out because I was on the FCC meeting for the first time last month, and that's when I realized that there is this issue. There's a story of Huckleberry Finn, and if you know the character in the Patrick and my teacher moment of the king and the duke, and they go from town to town, and they are basically creating an impression that they have authority. And each town, good-hearted people believe them. It creates devastation in each community they're at. I just urge this coalition to really think about how can you stop this going from town to town. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think both of those addressed the item we're about to discuss. We'll move on to the second part of the meeting. We're in part two. We'll open the board meeting. So again, we're now in a different capacity. We're no longer discussing amongst community councils. We're now operating as the board of delegates for the non-profit FCC. I think this is very repetitious for those of you who've been involved in the last year and a half. So the first item, 1B, I guess, representation from Girdwood. I'm going to hand it to you for the process of chair, if that's okay, Sarah, just through the traffic cop work. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them.
You'll do fine.
Okay. So we approved
Yeah, so
with the person who moved like.
the item here is to discuss the delegate for Girdwood.
Okay, with the person who made the motion like to speak to it.
Sure, real quick. So many of you know Anchorage is a home rules municipality right under AS 29.10.200, which essentially means that public officials can attend and inform but cannot serve as voting delegates or officers. So plain and simple, if you hold a public office according to AS 29.10.200 and then followed up AMC 2.40.030 alpha, right? That's the authorities. You cannot hold a public office and then essentially govern the governing. It's government governing the governed rather than, right, having the community govern the community. And so the intent behind it was that we have to ensure that delegates, one, appointed, even myself just attending today, though I was frustrated when I first walked in, we had to verify and validate that I was the newly appointed delegate from Taco Campbell Community Council, which was just last week. And though I was frustrated, absolutely perfect, we had to make sure that it was in writing. We had to ensure that, right? And so if there have been delegates that there was not adequate proof of appointment, and if those delegates have then been elected into officer roles, but are serving in a capacity of public official role, then that would seem to be a likely violation of municipal code. So that's why it's been brought up. That was the opening discussion.
Okay, I see Jason and Steve.
Thank you. So the points, thank you for citing the code there. Appreciate the discussion. My understanding is and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, is that this board is not government board, this is a nonprofit. And so this isn't where the community councils are recognized in the charter. The FCC is not, it's a nonprofit that supports the councils. So how does that square with the obvious thing that you're saying, which is if you're elected, you can't go? I understand.
Through the chair, if you don't mind, I'll provide feedback. It's my understanding that the bylaws, which date back to 1970, specifically indicate that this table is made up of delegates of the community councils. And in order to be an officer, you must be a delegate. So if you cannot fill a role of delegate without two things, right? One being appointed specifically, but if you can't fulfill a role of a delegate because you're an elected official, then therefore you couldn't be at this table. You could never be considered for an appointment as an officer.
So the assertion is that delegate is essentially the government.
Government is the voice for the given community, essentially to this specific nonprofit, right? So the delegate, but again, this is based on old bylaws, which were clean and they were simple and everything worked. The question is whether or not president elected within a group of delegates who was not potentially or allegedly was not appointed as a delegate could serve in the capacity of an officer in the first place. Right.
And Steve?
What's the public office?
Girdwood Valley Services Area Seat D. I don't know if you got a copy of that. There was a couple page document that was passed out. That's just to my knowledge.
Can I get a point of clarification?
Sorry?
Can I get a point of clarification?
Yes.
Is the GBOS subject to APOC, and is it in an actual public office? Or is it simply an election that the division of election handles like the road service area?
I mean, it is a road service area, right?
I don't have that information.
Can I just answer that from a technical point of view? You mind?
Yes.
It's it's more than a road service area. It's a service area that provides 6, I think, current services.
Okay.
But I think one of the questions here, this is an interesting question that came up before, it actually came up before I was elected chair for this body. The bylaws date from 2005. The definition of elected official in the Anchorage Municipal Code was updated much more recently, I think 2015, in the Ethics Code to include general service area boards. And then it never specified what general service area boards are. So even in Anchorage Code, it's there was a change in definition between when the bylaws were written and 2015. So that was at least one of the discussions that happened when I was elected chair, when the previous chair resigned.
What code was that? Is that related to codes that have jurisdiction and authority over community councils?
No, Anchorage Code doesn't have jurisdiction, and neither does the Open Meetings Act, and neither do other things. So,
community councils, there is Anchorage Code.
Yeah. Daryl.
I was going, yes, please. Daryl.
There is nothing in ANC 2.40 that governs or directs the Federation. The Federation is a 501c3 nonprofit. 2.40 governs how it's a 10,000 foot view of how community councils are organized and operate. Community councils are not part of municipal government. They are private neighborhood associations.
Understood.
So they are part of the government process, but they are not part of government. And the Federation is a nonprofit that the Assembly grants money to every year to provide services to community councils. So there's nothing in 2.40 that related to the Federation.
With respect.
And as far as Girdwood, the only individuals from Girdwood that could be delegates to the Federation based on the criteria to represent a community council are the members of GBOS. The code 2.40 designates GBOS as the community council ex officio for Girdwood. Any land use committee, any committee of GBOS, those individuals would not qualify to represent the community council for Girdwood, which is only composed, the only members of the community council in Girdwood per the code are the members of GBOS.
Point of information.
Officials.
Yes.
Darrell, are you speaking on behalf of the ombudsman's office or yourself right now?
The ombudsman's office.
You are, excellent, thank you.
So I hear you, if you don't mind. Just to ensure that we're on the same page, I'm in agreement, the bylaws here of this nonprofit, which is not under 2.4, right? Does specify though, that this board, this table is to be made up of delegates from community councils.
Right.
So the bylaws indicate to be on this seat, to be at this seat, you must be a properly appointed delegate. And 2.40 does specify and grant appropriate authorities to the community councils and how they will operate. And those community councils then will have their own bylaws and how they appoint and elect delegates. If there is no proper documentation of a delegate being appointed, they cannot sit at this table, therefore they cannot be elected as an officer per the different bylaws that
I'm
exist.
not gonna comment on that because that's.
I just want to make sure it's understood.
It depends on what the bylaws for the federation.
Correct.
Say, so if somebody's elected and qualified for the bylaw.
That, which is the whole point of what we're
What I'm
discussing.
saying is, the only individuals from Girdwood who could be a delegate. Because the only members of the community council in Girdwood are GBOS, the elected officials. And I've expressed my concerns with that setup many times, as Mike does.
I don't think sorry.
Did you have a point of
No,
order
this
or
is,
information?
I myself, you nodded at me.
I'm sorry. Yes, please go ahead. I
Thank
thought
you.
it was a
Not
point of.
stepping back
Go
there,
ahead.
yeah. I just want to kind of make it apparently clear here that, Mike, you were not put in for this seat by the citizens of Girdwood, by GBOS, and you are not the official representative of the FCC of Gird according to the records we have. Regardless of the minutia of whether you qualify to be a officer, whether you can continue to be an officer of this board, you were not appointed to the FCC by GBOS to begin with. That's my statement for now. Thank you.
So, can I just respond to that briefly?
Yes.
Yeah, so there is no procedure, as you know, for appointment of FCC delegates at Girdwood, and that is this case for many community councils. I think we need to fix that. And also I've heard Darrell's opinion on the who's actually on the community council. And I know from a practical point of view, we do not operate that way, and I don't agree with that interpretation, but I respect how you get to that position. I mean, the way we functionally operate is that LUC acts as a one person, one vote body. And then it makes recommendations to GBOS, and GBOS says yes, majority of times. If GBOS doesn't say yes, then we have a procedure to try and resolve any conflicts. At the time, I tried to get an alternative, another delegate to the FCC several years ago. Nobody wanted to do it. I became the delegate. I appointed myself as the delegate. We didn't have a process. I was the chair at the time. So the chair can notify and co-chair. The chairs can notify the FCC of the delegate. I did so. I continued to serve that body. I accidentally became chair of the FCC when nobody else would stand up. I'm learning a lot from it. It's taking a lot of time. I don't get paid anything, unlike teachers. I don't get paid a single penny for this. So I understand where we are now. My understanding is that because the interpretation of code, GBOS has an item next week at our next meeting to consider the appointment of a delegate. That's where we currently are. I look forward to that discussion. I've decided I'm not going to stand as the delegate. I'm not going to represent myself as the delegate tonight for the purposes of just letting that decision move forward in our local process. I'm comfortable with that. I should point out in the bylaws, there is a process for removal as well of delegates. So I think if that's a process people want to do, they should go through that. That's the correct method in our bylaws, at least, to deal with removal of delegates.
I see Pamela's hand. Pamela?
Is there a motion on the floor? I'm sorry, because a lot of people were talking at the same time. I got confused. If there's not, I'd like to make a motion.
There is not a motion on the floor. What is your motion?
So my motion is to vacate the chair's position at this point. And that would elevate our vice chair to the chair's position, and that we as a coalition address this in November when Girdwood can come forward with some information and hopefully with Daryl's help.
Is it permanent or just for the purposes of this
Right
meeting?
now, until November.
Until November, so a 1 month hiatus.
Right, it's a vacate. Yeah.
End of the vote. Okay, so the motion is to vacate the seat of the chair, elevate the vice chair for the remainder of this meeting until the November meeting.
That's correct.
Is there a second?
I'm seconding.
I think I need a second for discussion.
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Bruce. Any discussion?
I have a question. What's the purpose for the motion?
So my motion is to just eliminate this entire discussion so we can get on with our business, that they can go out and get back to us with whether or not this is they have an adequate response from Girdwood, so that the council, community councils can make that determination in November with more information before then.
So the information is gonna be dispersed to us before the November meeting, I hope, so we can get educated?
That is my intent.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got Steve and then I've got Marilyn.
Quick question, who's the vice?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you're the vice.
Yes.
Okay. And who's after you?
Do we have a secretary?
Secretary, Caitlin Jackson is the secretary.
Okay.
Kelly Inbox, the treasurer, Evan's on.
Evan is no longer part of.
Oh, he's not at large anymore.
Right. Temporary treasurer, potentially a vice position.
Correct. Right, Kelly, just for people who weren't at the last meeting, Kelly Inbach for Fairview was elected as a temporary treasurer, because we didn't know how the bylaws were gonna play out, and so we were gonna reassess after the bylaw had played out.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that. Still 1 year.
Okay, and before we get to Marilyn's question, our bylaws do have a process for removal, so I guess I want to clarify. Are we following this process for removal, or is this, we're just respectfully requesting that the chair step aside?
That is correct. That is correct.
So.
Because we don't have adequate information to do anything at this point. I feel that this is just disruption to this meeting. So let's just remove that off the table and bring it in as the November meeting.
Okay, thank you. Marilyn.
You're on mute.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Well, that puts a bailiwick in my spokes, I guess, but if this should, I have 2 points. If this should pass, then that would mean this meeting is over, correct?
No.
Who then takes over?
I agree.
As vice chair.
And remind me who that is?
Me, I'm the vice chair.
Sarah Prescott from Spinar.
Sorry, thank you. It's like name tag.
We don't have camera tonight. I have it on panorama because there's so many people.
Sarah Prescott from Spinard. I was elected in May.
I apologize, Sarah, and I did meet you at the office last week. I don't approve of this motion because Girdwood should go take care of their issue and then come to the FCC and present what they would like to see happen. And or we at the FCC as delegates would induct a new delegate from Girdwood. In the meantime, we need to proceed through this meeting And we don't even know or understand how Girdwood operates. And I just feel this is completely out of place and I will not support it.
I saw a question hand in the back end, then I saw Carrie's hand. Daniel, did you have a question?
Oh,
I saw your
taking
hand up.
questions from there. I was actually I need the delegates first. So, Carrie.
I would just like to point out that Girdwood, it seems that they actually did take care of their business and that it was declared. I did a handout. I apologize for those who are attending online, but I did provide a handout that the Girdwood GBOS chair did submit a statement to the FCC, and they took care of their business and they're presenting the facts to the body. And if it needs to be read out loud to those online, maybe that might be.
What was the?
For those online, we're gonna try and scan it and upload a copy. Okay.
So could I ask for a point of clarification? Who was that speaking and what is the document?
Mike was first in line with his point of clarification, so hold your thought and I'll come back to yours. What's your point of?
My point of information here is that there are two co-chairs for Girdwood Board of Supervisors. This letter represents one co-chair acting on their behalf, as an individual, not speaking on behalf of GBOS.
Point of information, that's.
Okay, actually, wait, oh, shoot. Yes, go ahead.
That's not true. It's the Jennifer Lingard, the other Girdwood co-chair, represents the Girdwood Land Use Committee. She's a liaison for that. Both co-chairs are equal in the Girdwood Board of Supervisors and our structure.
And the same for Black.
So it's not a personal statement, it's directly from the Land Use Committee, which functions as the community council for Girdwood through GBOS. Thank you.
So could I just ask, because there is so much work to be done on those bylaws and other things to do. I will withdraw, even though that's not correct. As a parliamentarian, I know it's not correct. I'm going to withdraw this motion, but I'm going to ask that, Mike, you leave the gavel with Sarah. The coalition is the one that has to determine whether or not there's a delegate. We are in an FCC, which is a nonprofit, and until we can clear up we can't really address that here, I don't think.
Do I need to check to see if there are any objections to that?
No.
Question.
Oh, well, she withdrew the motion though.
She can just withdraw the motion.
She can just withdraw the motion, but then there's the request that I keep the gavel. Yeah, just need that second rescind, just the second. Okay, just the second withdrawal, I don't remember who it was it?
I don't think you need a second withdrawal, but you can second the motion on the table, which is to do it for the purposes of just this meeting,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Pamela, will you restate you withdrew your original motion, will you restate your?
I asked us to vacate that chair's position, and Sylvia was my second, is that correct? And so I would say if people are not able to navigate this, because this is extremely confusing. And I did that because I really feel this is the coalition's job, and we are in an FCC nonprofit to even determine whether or not that's a delegate or not. That's why I asked for that to be vacated right now. But in fact, we can do it in a different way where Sarah just keeps the gavel, we move on, and in November we get information back so that the coalition can determine whether or not that's a delegate and whether or not that delegate can move forward with the FCC. So because we're in this circular discussion and we're not going to get to bylaws, which are really important, that's why I'm asking this. And Sylvia, if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. I did see Jake's hand up and then Marilyn's hand up, but I don't see Jake's hand anymore.
Oh, yeah, it was Jake.
Jake, did you still have a question?
Hi, I'm not sure if I have a question. I think my question was going to be if there's a way within the parliamentary procedure to basically make a motion to table this whole topic and revisit at the November meeting. I appreciate the effort that the folks from Girdwood have gone through to provide documents to the body, but I think it's becoming clear that folks don't feel in a position to make an informed decision about this within the scope of this meeting that's scheduled for the next half hour, and would hope that we can revisit this topic.
Amendment to the motion to strike out the original motion and instead vote on.
So you're moving to strike out the original motion and instead your motion is to table this discussion until
Indefinitely.
the November meeting was what you said.
Yeah.
Jake, did you catch that?
Yep, that would reflect what I was bringing up. Yep. So I would make that motion.
Sure, go for it.
Just for the purpose of restating, there is an amendment on the table to remove Mike as chair for the purposes of this meeting. There is now an amendment to the amendment, which would be to table all this conversation for November. So
Point of order, I think you have to vote on the first amendment.
it's an amendment to the amendment, so you would vote on the second amendment and then go down.
Okay, so I'm. Okay, all right, so we need to clarify some things. We have a
I have
motion.
my hand up.
Actually, Marilyn is next up, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I had my hand up. I'm sorry, my apologies.
No worries.
Marilyn, is your comment on the amendment to the amendment?
Well, actually, it's regarding the First Amendment, because once the amendment is made and seconded and discussion occurs, the motion, excuse me, the motion belongs to the body. It doesn't belong to the maker anymore under Robert's rules. And you can make one amendment to the motion.
It's not
Okay.
amended.
Don't
I can only-
interrupt. Whoever that is, please don't interrupt. So you can make one amendment to the motion. And then we can deal with that amendment and then go back to the original motion.
You're correct. What was the one motion?
First motion was to
remove the
remove Mike for the purposes of this meeting as chair.
Okay, but then it was amended.
No, that's a second amendment. That's a different amendment. Oh my God.
Where are we?
We are in the discussion on the first, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. We're in discussion on the first amendment as made by Pamela, which is to remove Mike as chair for the purposes of this meeting, right? And then there's a question about a second amendment, but we're not there yet.
So tabling is not an amendment.
It's not an amendment.
Yeah.
Motion
It's standing.
Yeah.
by itself.
Oh, okay.
Call the question.
So yeah, we call the question on tabling.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor, wait, roll call.
And then on the.
Yeah,
Whoa,
After
what we're voting on, I thought was to table this discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the motion on the floor is to table this discussion until November.
Why is it not the?
No, that's not why it's standing.
The motion and amendment, or we're
No.
currently in the amendments,
No,
right?
no, we're currently in the motion to table, which takes precedent over everything else.
No, is that correct?
We're gonna check the rules, we'll take a 90-second.
Oh my God, it's taking longer than that.
I have. She made some motion to vacate, then she rescinded.
But then she made a different.
I didn't hear that other motion, that's the part of it where I got
Yeah,
lost.
you made a second motion and said to, sorry. Just for the purposes of this 17.
Oh, I thought that was just a suggestion, not a motion. No wonder, okay.
Sorry.
You what?
The subsidiary motion to lay on the table takes precedence over the main motion, over all other subsidiary motions, and over any incidental motions that are pending when it is made. Does that answer the question?
Yes, that's it.
So there was a motion made, and then there was a motion to table the whole thing, and that is the question to the body.
Yes.
The motion to table.
The
is
motion to
question.
table. Okay,
There was a call to question that was, I had a point of order, I had a call to question and was cast down saying that no, she was there was a lady online that was revoking her initial motion, which is not proper Robert's rules.
That is
So
correct.
my question, which would have been the call to question to actually, for the original motion, was basically kicked back. Should not have been.
Deep in the weeds here, I think.
So, okay, the issue
Right.
is,
Decision
it's
of bottom.
going to be the chair for the rest of the meeting, right?
Because I'm doing great. So
Not normally this deep in Robert's rules.
we're not normally like 3 amendments in. Okay. Okay.
Pamela was attempting to rescind her motion, and so my call to question was kicked back, but it should not have been because you can't rescind your motion. It had already been properly moved and seconded, which means it was already with the body. My call to question then should finalize that particular motion.
I would say
which was-
culturally in this room, they do recognize rescinding motion, so that's up to the body, but you guys generally are okay with that.
It seems like we should just vote on who's gonna be the chair for the rest of the meeting.
No, that's not an issue.
Okay.
Here, we got 30 minutes. I move to suspend the rules.
Does that take precedence over
And-
tabling?
Elect the chair temporarily until next meeting.
Does
You
that
will
take,
collect it?
Pardon me?
You're collecting the chair?
No,
No, you make a motion.
I'm making a motion to suspend the rules.
Yeah.
Right? And for us to elect a temporary pro temp chair, which is gonna be Sarah.
But we still have a motion to table on the floor, which presents
that-
all motions.
We have
does
to
that-
deal with the tabling motion amendment first and then go back to the original motion. And then
So-
whoever is speaking could say bifurcate.
So, point of
But
order.
we have to deal with the tabling issue first.
Point of order, the tabling came after the call to question, which is an improperly kicked back. The call to question was for the original motion. And now we have a suspend of the rules, which would trump the call to question.
Right.
okay, let me work. And process.
With the minutes and reread
Question
them.
would be vacated. What happened, and then if that goes through. I do this, and then we're tabling the discussion. If it doesn't go through. Doesn't matter, we're still tabling, going to the vote to table the discussion?
Yes.
Did I just choose my own adventure?
In IR.
Okay. Okay, I do not remember which order I heard those in. For this,
Question. The call to question, in my recollection, was well after the amendment was made.
Can we?
So the tabling amendment must be dealt with first. And then we go back to the original motion. And then if the guy wants to make a different amendment, we can do that. But there can only be one amendment at a time.
Point of order, the original call to question, because there's been 2 this evening, was before the amendment was seconded and voted on. So it may have been seconded, but it had not yet been voted on. So the original call to question was not for the amendment, but actually for removing the chair until November. But it was kicked back because someone said they were going to recall their original motion, which of course is not in line with Robert's rules.
okay, we'll put a pin in that. Kathy. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Okay. Just for clarification, you're saying we called the question when we were discussing an amendment, is that correct?
When the discussion of the amendment was being, when we were having
So
the
you
discussion.
were calling the question for the amendment or the main motion? Can
For the
you
main
just skip
motion.
over- You skip over an amendment that's on the floor?
She was rescinding it in the moment. So again, it's which comes first, I don't know, but she was attempting to call it back. But Mr. Bruce made an appropriate motion, I believe, that would trump all of it, right, or not?
That's
To
correct.
rescind the rules.
Within the rules, within Robert rules of order, the call to suspend the rules.
Suspend the rules.
What I'm trying to do is get us past all this or now.
Agreed. What is,
And my motion trumps everything at this point. The next motion under that is the motion to table, but my motion covers all, sets it aside, lets us move on. Is there a
There was a
second?
request to restate the motion, please, that you made.
what is your motion, Bruce?
My motion is to suspend the rules and elect a pro temp chair, which my suggestion is Sarah. She can take on that role temporarily until the November meeting, at which time we can resolve this matter. Second.
Okay. Oh, sorry, that's me. Bruce has made, sorry, who was the second? I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Zach Butchell.
Thank you. We should vote on that. I'm sorry, is there any discussion?
I would like to say one thing. I'm very happy with this.
We in discussion.
Sorry, yes, we are in discussion.
Go.
Okay, yes.
I'm very happy with.
Wait, we have a point of order.
Delegates first.
Oh,
Yes, delegates first.
Yes.
but he's the current chair.
He's not a delegate.
He's not a delegate.
But here's what I will say, Mike, this is nothing personal, it's nothing, no, I just wanted, moving because we got stuff
My
to
game.
do.
I thought we
This
were
will
gonna go.
cover it until we can. Any other delegates want to speak? Mike, and then it's your turn, so.
I do.
Let me hear from other delegates and then Mike, I will come back to you. Let's put a pin in that. And then Marilyn, is that you?
Yes, and I'm sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time, but on our own parliamentary procedure sheet, when you ask the question, you cannot interrupt the current speaker, which the person who called the question did. And he didn't have a second. And it's not debatable, and it has to have a 2/3 majority vote. So I don't know why we're even discussing all this other stuff that came after. We haven't even done the tabling question, which was the original First Amendment that got interrupted by the person calling the question, which he cannot do, interrupting. So if we're gonna follow our own Robert's Rules parliamentary procedure, it's right here from the October 24 packet.
I would argue for the purposes of clarification, because we got far enough into the weeds that it's a reset of sorts, so we can go on with our meeting.
Well, oh geez. I would like us to be able to vote on the main motion.
Are you?
Yeah, one person keep around.
Right, yeah, can you, Kathy? And then, I'm sorry, Jason?
I would like Roger, who looked it up online about what suspending the rules actually entails.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's a little bit of confusion even on this, but it does indeed, to suspend the rules, it requires 2/3 vote. Can be used to bypass procedural rules for a single meeting, but it cannot override fundamental principles of parliamentary law, bylaws, individual rights, and so on. That's part of what it's saying here.
What's the practical implication of that?
If you cannot suspend the parliamentary rules, then that would mean the move to table, which can then take preference of everything else, and indeed preference to whether we vote or not vote. The move to table, it would seem like would proceed as to whether we table or not.
If the rules to suspend motion does not pass.
Okay.
And if we think this is procedural only and not fundamentally to our bylaw.
No, it would seem like the move to table would, in my mind, move to table would take precedent and then.
Yes.
To suspend the rules.
And then
Point of order.
come back to suspend the rules. So,
What is
yeah.
your point of order?
For your Robert's Rules, 12th edition, suspend the rules is the highest.
It is the highest.
Okay.
Trump there.
Suspend the rules. Okay.
And the
So we
second.
just need to
and the-
vote on suspending.
And the second has been made on that, and so
Yes.
it's actually with the body,
Discussion.
in discussion.
That is, yes, we are discussing suspending the
So now
rules.
I will call the question.
Not debatable.
Excuse me.
Suspending the
Call
rules
the question
isn't
in-
Question on suspending the rules?
On this, yes. Call the
to
question.
vote on
So we can
suspending the
vote it.
rules.
Yeah, it's not debatable.
Yeah, let's vote.
Yeah, so 2/3 is what that requires to suspend the rules.
Majority.
No, we have to vote to call the question, then vote to suspend the rules.
Call the question just means it.
Great,
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, can you do a roll call, please?
State what we're voting on then, please.
We are voting to suspend the rules and have Sarah Prescott serve as as chair until November.
I did put it in the chat, motion to suspend the rules and elect a pro temp chair temporarily until November meeting. Sarah was the appointed person. Okay. So, lost my pen. Abbott Loop,
Yes.
Airport Heights,
Yes.
Basher,
No.
Bay Shore Flat,
Yes.
Bear Valley,
No.
sorry, I should call first names because of confusion, so switching, Kevin Feynman,
Yes.
Daryl Parks.
Yes.
Sylvia, Villamides.
I'm gonna abstain from this one.
Thank you. Cliff Cook,
Yes.
Kelly Inbach,
Abstain.
Bob French,
Yes.
Bruce Ferguson,
Yes.
Jason Norris,
No.
Charlie,
Yes.
Jacob Powell. He moved, just in case we missed that. Pamela Ragar,
Yes.
Gary Meters,
Yes.
John Riley,
Yes.
Marilyn Pilifon,
No.
Russian Jack, sorry, Kathleen,
Yes.
Carrie Reese,
Yes.
Roger Shaw,
No.
John Thurber,
Yes.
Sarah Prescott,
Abstain.
Sarah Alexander,
Yes.
Kathy Gleason,
Yes.
Michael Packard,
Yes.
Steve Callahan.
Yes.
We only have 5 no's, so the yeas have it.
So we've suspended the rules. Okay, and so now the thing is to table the discussion. That's what is before us.
So I make a motion to have Sarah Prescott act as pro temp chair.
I
second. I thought that was part of, yeah, that was part of the last one.
Okay, all right.
You said it's.
That's my extension. So what we have now is, do we table this discussion? That is.
Discussion.
Yes, that's the motion on the floor. Jason, did you have?
Immediately adjourned, given the importance of the bylaw discussion and the lack of time.
I second that motion.
Do we have to do anything? Doesn't it just adjourn after a second?
No, you have to.
Oh, do you vote?
Don't know if
Okay.
it's, do we know if it's 2/3 or just?
One clarification. The difficult one.
I think
While they look it up.
Sure.
What is the threshold for the motion?
That's what we're figuring
That's what
out.
they're looking up.
That's a great
If it's
question.
2/3.
Okay, because 15/23 is just shy. The previous. What?
Oh, we need,
Unless you don't
what's
count
the,
abstain
what's the threshold of the last one?
on the previous motion.
Oh, the threshold on the previous motion. Was that a 2/3 or?
Suspend the rule?
Yeah.
Well, 1 second.
Simple majority according to the 12th edition.
It's on the majority on the rules you're talking about, on the table.
Motion to adjourn requires a simple majority.
Was he asking about the motion to suspend?
Suspend.
Correct.
Yeah, you were asking about
Yeah, he
suspend.
was asking if the suspended or the abstained counted towards the.
Oh, I see.
recorded Robert's rules, once we moved into another motion before the board, then that we moved on. There's no question. Yeah, backtrack.
Did we check? So
Yeah,
rules are suspended.
we should have passed because there's. I'm pretty sure we passed the threshold.
Okay.
For 2/3, just to answer the question.
Yeah.
So regardless of what it is.
Next up, we're looking up,
Oh,
is it 2/3 for simple majority to
or,
adjourn?
Correct.
This is
simple majority.
Practice,
Wow.
excellent practice. Thank you all.
Simple majority.
Simple majority?
sure.
I'm hearing from a majority that it's simple majority.
This thing.
Is it discussable? I don't think it's discussable, so I can't really take discussion, so we just vote.
debatable, it's, yeah.
Yeah, so, I think we have to
Vote.
roll call it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, well,
half of us are,
yes,
sorry.
sorry. Okay,
Let them know what we're voting on.
okay, this is a motion to adjourn the meeting. Right? Did I miss it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Emily,
Yes.
sorry, we have a point of order, that came before. I just saw it because it was on the chat. Pamela, do you want to state your point of order?
Yes, I do. I want a clarification of who is delegates who are actually in this meeting. And is there an alternate acting in their place? Because that would be inappropriate. So I am trying to figure out whether the last motion and seconded is even something that should have been addressed. And I'm sorry, my vote.
Too late.
I did not realize that in looking at this list that we have an issue here.
Do you have a delegate in question? That way we can address it.
I do. So I would like to know the Taku delegate is in this meeting and yet the alternate is the one who seconded a motion. That would be inappropriate.
So Sarah has been voting, I think is the question, and Zach has been making motions. So we've
That's
had,
correct.
I am
So that's
present in the meeting, yes.
and she's been the person that I've been calling for voting for the purposes of this.
That's
But
appropriate.
making a motion means that you're acting in an official capacity, and that is inappropriate.
According to the bylaws, it indicates that each community council is allowed one vote.
That's correct.
There is no information regarding whether a delegate may be present and make motion. However, even more important, Robert's Rules of Orders 12th edition specifies that once a new motion is on the floor, you cannot backtrack to a previous motion. We are currently have a motion on the floor to adjourn.
So, I'm not going to play this game with you, young man. I'm going to say to you that this meeting is not over. And if anything is questionable, it needs to be addressed during this meeting before adjournment. It is absolutely appropriate to ask whether or not something is legitimate.
So I am going to ask that we continue with the roll call of votes because that is what we are in the middle of.
Thank you.
Okay, Dirk.
No.
Sorry, the motion is whether to table, or sorry, to adjourn the meeting.
Meeting.
Dirk,
No.
thank you. Bob,
Fisher Flat, yes.
Caitlin,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
Sylvia.
I was gonna sign out anyways because it's 8 o'clock, so I guess we need to adjourn. Thank you.
So was that a yes?
In a short verse, yes.
Thank you. Cliff Cook,
Yes.
Kelly Ittenbach,
Yes.
Bob French,
Yes.
Bruce Ferguson,
Yes.
Jason Norris,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Jacob Powell.
Abstain.
Still there. Abstain. Thank you. Pamela Raygor,
Abstain.
Gary Meads.
Yes, yes.
John Riley,
No.
Marilyn Pilifon,
Yes. Yes.
Kathleen. I got you, Marilyn. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, from Kathleen. Thank you. Carrie Reese,
Yes.
Roger Shaw,
Yes.
John Thurber,
Yes.
Sarah Prescott,
Yes.
Sarah Alexander,
Came on in.
oh, sorry, I missed that.
Is unmuted yet.
I thought she came off for a second. Sarah Alexander,
Yes.
thank you. Kathy Gleason.
Yes.
Michael Packard,
Yes.
Steve Callahan.
Yes.
There were only 2 no's, so the yeas have it.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:59.
I have a point of
Robert's Rule.
order.
And next time we will have
Sorry, Marilyn, the
discussion
the
Q
meeting
and
is
A.
adjourned, so we can't call a point of order.
You had a presentation
I
and
just
everything.
need, can I get some information at least?
Oh, yeah, do you wanna message me or,
Nope, I think it, what happens next is, my question, and I think that's important for everybody to know.
Am I,
I have no idea.
was I just the chair for that meeting or am I the chair until November and then I chair you in?
What is happening next?
Well, because.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I think we could call a special meeting. Marilyn, I honestly don't have an answer for you. I'm so sorry. Hopefully I figure it out and send it in the recap.
That's fine. Thank you very much for all your help, everyone, and
Thank you, everyone.
listening. I'll come in the office.
After it's
Okay, great.
I'll have it in writing.